There are two things that we need to keep in mind when it comes to receiving the Dharma teaching. One is, when we come in the face of the Dharma, we have to come in all humility, the teacher and the students. The reason we come in humility is in a secular world, we have to assert that we are confident. We have to assert that we are right, that we know what we're doing, that we're always on top of things, and we're always perfect. And that gets us jobs. It fills our rice bowl. In the secular world, we always have to project a confident, strong, I know what I'm doing and don't be wrong kind of aura. And when someone tells us we're wrong, or someone tells us this is not right, we kind of say to them, oh, you're judging me. You're putting me down. You're degrading me. You're not respecting who I am. But you see, we shouldn't have that kind of attitude when we come to the Dharma. Because if we are so above judgment, we are so above any sort of improvement, then we are even higher than the Buddha. Then we are better than the Buddha. So when we listen to the Buddha's teachings, when we listen to it as criticism, anger arises, unhappiness, a sense of sadness, a sense of maybe feeling uncomfortable. When we listen to the Buddha's teachings, realizing that we are not Buddhas, I am not a Buddha, you are not a Buddha, and we have plenty of room to become a Buddha, then the Dharma teachings become something that's like nectar. Something like when we want to dig gold out from the ground, and instead of just us going there and digging, someone shows us, this is where the gold might be. Don't dig there. This is rocky. This one's a little dangerous. This one might have a lot of stones. Use this tool. Use that tool. Use this machinery. Come at this time of the day. Maybe water at first. Maybe soften the ground. And so when someone shows us how to dig the gold out, when we dig the gold out, it's very easier. Whereas if we say, well, I know what I'm doing. You can't tell me what I'm doing. I know everything, and you can't explain to me because we're the same. If you have that attitude, you go and dig. Of course, you'll find the gold eventually, but with more difficulties. So therefore, when we approach the Dharma, when we approach our teachers, this is how we are taught in the monasteries. We approach our teachers, and the teachers themselves have a sense of humility when they're teaching the Dharma. The students has a sense of humility when they're receiving the Dharma. And the reason for that is both teacher and the ones being taught are listening to something that is beyond secular knowledge. Much more beyond just making money, just the next day, just surviving, just the next investment, just the next relationship is way beyond that. That's one. Second thing is, we have to recognize in ourselves, we do have a lot of anger. We do have a lot of hostility. We do have a lot of regrets and confusion. And we are sad. We are kind of heading to a direction that always not sure. There's a lot of unhappiness in our lives. And when we think of that, it's not a negativity. It is not a statement. It is not a words to judge us. It is something that actually looks at something factually. If you come to someone's house and you say, hey, I don't really like this color, but I think it will suit you and it's nice and I like it for you. That's very nice. Hey, I don't like this color, you got bad taste. That's judgmental. See, both can be you like or don't like, but it's a matter of our attitude. So similarly, when we receive the Dharma, we have to realize, and this is what it says in the Lamrim, we have these qualities in us that need to be transformed. We have these qualities in us that can be improved. And so therefore, we humbly seek to listen to the Buddha's teachings with the attitude of humility, wanting to learn, and free from the three faulty pots. One pot is it is down. Whatever you put on it, whatever you put into it, it just falls to the side. Nothing goes in. So that is likened to a closed mind. So should you be a fanatic? Just open it up and, whatever comes in, just receive it? Also not. You can have a filter. But the point is not to be closed, open, but with a filter. Which means, everything that the Dharma teacher tells us, everything that this guru tells us, we have to believe. It is the way. It is no other way. No. Also not that way. Open mind doesn't mean accepting something without checking. Open mind means to be open to a new idea and be receptive to receiving it and checking it out. When you receive a new idea, it doesn't mean you need to accept it on the moment. It means to be open to listen to another idea in order that you can go check it out later. What's the difference? People who are closed, they won't even listen. There's nothing to check out later. So they stay in this little narrow self-imposed box, which creates a lot of anger. So when we're open to something, it is not that you accept it. It is you are open to examine it further to see if it fits you. So the way we listen to the Dharma teachings, the first way is free from the first of the pots, which is down, which is a closed mind. Second one is a pot that is cracked. Why? Whatever you pour in, it'll come out. That means during Dharma talks, to be distracted with meaningless affairs. Our telephones, our appointments, our friends, maybe a relationship, maybe some food, maybe some appointment, maybe we're sleepy, maybe we're tired. We have to think. Receiving a Dharma talk is so rare. Receiving the Dharma is so rare. Out of all the activities that we do, actually, knowledge is the key to happiness. So if we have someone or some method, which is the Dharma, that can give us knowledge, it is the most well-spent time we can ever live for. The more knowledge we have, the more information we have, the more we can apply it and the more we can improve ourselves. Life is about improving ourselves. So therefore, to not be distracted by the affairs and not to have our mind somewhere else or feeling sleepy or not able to discipline ourselves is to have a pot that's not cracked, where information goes out. Third of the pots is if we put poison inside. Whatever delicious foods, well cooked and prepared and with a lot of love and care, put inside, it's still not edible. It's poison. Meaning, to come to a Dharma talk with the wrong motivation. Maybe, and this sounds a little funny, but it happens. I've been in Dharma for 30 years. I think I'll go to the center because there's a pretty girl there. And I want to sit next to a pretty girl. And I'm going to look really good. And I've had people here who do that too. And I'm going to sit in a Dharma talk and do Dharma activities to look good, to impress her, to win her over. That's the same as a poison in the pot where you put the precious Dharma in. He's not here for the Dharma. She's not here for the Dharma. It's another motive. Or, well, maybe it's my company and I need to do some charitable work. Let me just show up there and bear the 2-3 hours. And then afterwards, I'll look good. I'll write it on my CV and whatever, and then I can move on. That is wrong motivation. Or some people have afflicting spirits, negative energy, sickness. Or they have something that they want to accomplish and they want to use the Dharma in its incredible ways to accomplish those small ends. Sickness, business are small ends compared to if we can get attained, we can become enlightened. If we can become enlightened, all those things become very small because they're wiped away in a second. So when we learn the Dharma and it's just for small ends, it's like meeting the President of the United States, as I always say. And he says, you can have anything you want in America. Anything. No limits. $20 billion, a whole state, you want to be the next president, whatever. You can take whatever you want. And he says to him, okay, I like to have a toothpick. What? That's it? I like to have a meal at Tony Roma's. I like to, maybe have a free overnight stay at the boardwalk. Well, there's no more boardwalk. But anyways, at the boardwalk when it was existing. And because my mother used to love to go to the boardwalk when I was a kid. With her friends, they rent buses, they go for bingo at the boardwalk. Anyways, it was a big deal. And they stay overnight and there's all you can eat and they love it. The working class ladies. Anyways, to have the right motivation. I do suffer. I suffer in ways that I know, and I suffer in ways I don't know. And I create suffering for others. And I create suffering for people that I love. And I create suffering continuously. And sometimes I don't even know it. And I want to do something about it now. Therefore, I wish to achieve something higher, better than what I've been doing. I want to achieve something much better and higher than what I've been doing. I want to achieve the timeless and deathless state of a fully enlightened Buddha. So I will not listen to the Dharma teachings to gain wealth. I will not listen to Dharma teachings to just heal or accomplish a goal or get a job or eliminate spirits or to even look good. I'm going to listen to the Dharma in order to find a method to transform my mind in a revolutionary way. In a way as taught, exemplified, and shown by the perfect Buddha. And whether people will believe the mystical side of Buddhism or not, that doesn't matter. But the historical side is there. Buddha was a person. He did exist. He was a great sage. He was a great teacher. He was a great master. He's recognized throughout the world as a great master, as a great teacher, as a great sage. That one, everyone of all religions, every country can agree. That's a historical fact. But that's not something mysterious. So therefore, I will listen to the Buddha's teachings in order to transform and change my life. Transform and change my mind. This is the reason. So when we come for teachings, my great teacher, who I lived with in Los Angeles for 8 years, said we must develop that type of mind. When we develop that type of mind, we develop that type of motivation, then our mind opens to listen. So he always says motivation, action, dedication, and it seals whatever we're doing for something better.